For years, the world of gaming has been at war. A war between superiority over who is best. The victor would, supposedly, stand triumphant over those who had lost, and claim champion above all. But like all great wars, the struggle is ongoing. The end is not in sight. The battles are frequent, often without a victor, and many have fallen without an offspring to take over. For this month, we take a look at all the warring factions and let you decide who reigns supreme overall. Welcome to War. The Console Wars. This is the Gaming Wildlife Foundation.
There's such a long history about PC gamers. Can we really do a whole episode about it in 6 minutes?
So there's a long history.
Yeah, we can do it. We've been successful so far. No reason to stop now.
PC gamers.
PC games have had a long history dating back to the mainframe computers of the 50s and 60s, but didn't gain mainstream popularity until text-based adventures began to appear in the mid to late 70s. The video game crash of 1983 paved the way for educational personal computers to come about, but was revamped for a more open market by 1987 with the rise of IBM as a company. PC gaming saw a surge in the 90s with the popularity of the internet, followed by a drop-off in the early 2000s as consoles began to take over the market. With the success of Steam, Origin, and downloadable games, PC gaming has now become one of the biggest markets for the world of gaming, with individual game sales overtaking that of all the other consoles.
Yeah, PC Master Race.
Okay, do you know where the phrase Master Race comes from? Do you understand its origins? Do people really throw that phrase around so candidly?
I don't think anyone thinks about it that much.
Well, for more information on why they would choose such a stupid phrase, we go to our expert. And yes, you know who it is. The most well-known PC gaming enthusiast of all, Gabriel Steam, the head of the Gaming History Department at the University of Gaming.
Because personal computers have historically been more customizable and upgradable than consoles, PC gamers have always emphasized power and better graphics in their video games.
And
this gives the group a smug sense of superiority over the others.
Knew it. So why should PCs be a part of the console wars? They aren't technically a console.
Well, the easy answer is that there are thousands of games made each year specifically for PC, and most games will have a port for PC in addition to other systems. The more complex answer is that with the evolution of technology, companies are finding easier ways to make processors more powerful and with bigger memory drives. This makes PCs easily customizable and upgradable, which is something other consoles have always lacked. I mean, you can't just install a new graphics card on an Xbox One.
Well, why not?
Because consoles aren't built that way and PCs are.
Well, we've certainly received a lot of comments on our last 3 videos about PC gaming. Seems to have quite the following here on the internet. To a nightmarish degree. So, what can you tell us about PC gamers? How do they differ from other types of gamers?
Because some games date all the way back to the 70s. They have the nostalgia factor of Nintendo, the internet connectivity of Xbox without the extra surcharge to connect, and can easily outdo the processing power of the PlayStation for about the same price.
Wow, that makes it sound like PCs are the best overall machine.
It's because they are. Check this out.
Okay, why does that man have a giant dong?
It's called the Schlongs of Skyrim, and it is amazing.
It is bigger than the rest of his body.
Amazing.
Freaky.
What she's roughly talking about is something called modding. Most PC games have the ability to mod and change the inner workings of the game to your preferences. Yes, there are risque mods like the one she's using, but most ones are texture packs to make the game look better or gameplay updates to make it easier or more complex to play. There are even modders fixing broken elements of old games with new patches. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is almost playable now.
So PC gamers can actually change the way a game is played to better suit their needs? Is that dragging a pony?
I may have installed one too many of these.
What makes a PC gamer unique is one simple word: customization. PCs can be built from scratch by buying each individual component separately. There's several operating systems they can download, and in addition to modding, the variety of games outdoes all the other systems combined. Not even including free-to-play or freeware games, most of which are made for PCs nowadays simply because they can get the biggest audience.
Honestly, it seems like PC is the best overall system. I have a sneaking suspicion that some negative traits are on their way.
They are.
Well, think back to the phrase every PC gamer tends to spam whenever Steam or Windows is mentioned.
They call themselves the PC Master Race. Our entire comment section is flooded with them. Why would they use a phrase used by the Nazis? God, it's like they don't know how to exist in a social environment.
Ding!
Oh.
PC gamers are the most antisocial group of all the gaming factions. It is unfortunately the nature of the system itself, as PCs are not a socially constructed device, unlike other consoles.
How exactly are teenagers flinging racial slurs at each other less antisocial than PC gamers?
Take a look at this representation I have here. This is a very accurate representation. As you can see in the lower part of the drawing, you have a group of console gamers. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, even a mobile gamer is down there. This is because consoles are designed for a living room environment, people gathering together to play games. PCs have always been an office system, suitable for one person to use at a time. Older computers were large and difficult to lug around. With that and the business world, PCs stayed within the office environment and catered to one person instead of a group.
Are there PCs that work in a more social environment?
Not really. Steam was developing living room computers called Steam machines, but there's been no news recently. That CEO of Valve needs to update us on the progress of those.
Aren't you?
Regardless, because PCs can be built to be more powerful than consoles, this gives the PC gamers a statistical high ground to lord over the others. This is why the master race phrase is so commonly used, despite most PCs being obsolete. Hell, you could buy a tablet that could play Crysis better than most desktop computers.
So to wrap up the month, we're going to need a console that can do something that none of the other consoles have been able to do. Get gamers outside of their houses, making them a bit more...
Oh dear God, shut up. We know there's only one system left. Next week, mobile gaming.
We'll see you then. It's a surprisingly mesmerizing...
Oh! It's him!
I know.
Master Gaben, sir! What have you brought forth for us this year?
Be still, my child. I bring good tidings of great sales. Enjoy the fruits of the holiday. Play some classic games. And buy many hats for TF2.
Thanks, Lord Gaben. You sure are wonderful.
Yes. By the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, have a wonderful Kwanzaa, have a wonderful holiday, and we will all see you next week.